Prat nosaf, another detail. Yesh ba parsa. Afras is a parsa. A parsa shchaluka l'shtayim. The parsa, the hoof, is divided into two. Umash mutadavar. What does it mean? Shehalicha al gabi ha'oretz hamaga im inyanim artzim tzorich liot b'shnei kivunim. Yamin mekareves v'smol docha. A kosher animal has a hoof and it's split into two. When it walks, in other words, it touches the ground in two ways. It touches them. Says the Rebbe, these two ways are represented by what's called Yamin Mekareves v'Smol Docha. In the Gemara and other places it says the opposite. Smol Docha v'Yamin Mekareves. Of always in Chassidic it says Yamin. What does it mean? Your left hand has to push away bad things, and your right hand has to make close good things. This is special. It says there's three things that have to be done. There's Tinok, Isha, Yetzer. Three things have to be dealt with in this way. Let's just take an example of a child. A child has to be dealt with. How do you teach a child? The left hand has to push away, and the right hand has to make come close. And here the Rebbe says, first one is the right hand. In other words, a child has to be put in his place. You have to tell the child clearly what's permissible and what is forbidden. And there has to be an appropriate reaction if the child does something that's forbidden. You have to take him aside and you have to tell him and explain him. You have to show him a not happy face. You shouldn't do that. It's not a right thing. It's improper. I expected more from you, etc. At the same time, you have to show the child love, right? Every time he does something good, you have to reward him. Even when he does something bad, you have to say, I know you're a very special person. I know I can trust you. I know that you're really a Chassid and a Jew, and you like to do good things, and you're kind, and etc., etc. Then you have to show him. You don't have to, even not saying, just the feeling that the child knows that you really appreciate him. On the other hand, the child has to know that there's limits. He can't get away with everything. If he goes outside of the limits, then you don't appreciate those actions. You appreciate him, but not his actions. So there has to be, that's what the Rebbe says, everything you do in the world, there has to be this aspect of the left hand pushes away and the right hand accepts things. Let's see, the Rebbe will explain. Mitzuyim we find ke'elu, shalididam yamin makareves v'lo kol matzah. We find people that they're religious, so they say now everything is okay. Haim to'anim, they say, ki kadei lekarev Yehudi l'Torah, in order to bring Jews close to the Torah, kadai lahakel b'inyanim shel Torah. It's okay, you can be a little bit lenient. Va'av l'shanot, you can even change. Chas v'shalom, God forbid, the Torah, according to the spirit of the time. You have Reform Judaism, Conservative Judaism. There's the modern Orthodox Judaism. And each one, they leave, the kippur gets a little bit bigger. Starts off really small, if there's none at all. And it gets very small, then they have a little kippur, and then a little bit bigger, until the kippur, they have a kippur, maybe they make it all sorts of different colors, maybe they wear it on the back of their head, on the side of their head. And they want this, okay, good, what do I care what these people do? And these are wonderful Jews, and they're good people, but what they decide, for some reason it is, or other, that popularity and success depends on them, not on God. In other words, they have to make certain changes in order to be popular.
Did you just say that kippah goes from big to small?
From small to big. Usually,
small to big?
The Reform, the Conservative, etc. The Reform usually don't have a kippah at all. And they have smaller. And then it gets, as they get more religious, it gets bigger usually. Usually that's the way things work. What's the idea of a kippah? The kippah is not to show anybody anything. It's to show yourself. A kippah is called the Yiri Malka. It shows that you're afraid of the Creator. Or in simple language, my intelligence is up to here. And God's intelligence is, God creates me, I can't create anything. God's intelligence is above me. The Torah is above my intelligence. I have to use my intelligence as much as I can. It's a commandment. But on the other hand, I have to realize that it's impossible to understand God. God is not even in the category of understanding the essence of God. There are certain aspects of God you can't understand. He creates the world. He took the Jews out of Egypt. He gave us the Torah. To certain degrees, you can understand this. When you do a commandment, you're connecting to God. When you learn Torah, you're connecting in a different way to God. God answers your prayers. God provides for the poor, the sick, the hungry. Right? God feeds everybody. There are certain things that are understandable, but essentially they're not understandable. We're not talking about a big angel or a big star. We're talking about the creator of the whole universe, creator of all the stars. So we can't really understand what God is. That's the idea of the kippah. The more I rely on my own understanding, is usually the kippah gets smaller. Usually smaller. It's not a sign. I'm not trying to judge people. There are some people who are really Yirei Shamayim people. They don't have kippahs at all. They only put on a kippah when they make a blessing or when they this. And there's all sorts of people. But generally speaking, right? It's also true that a lot of people put on big kippahs with huge yarmulkes, whatever it is, and they're not nice people. They're not, even not. Some people don't even. I've just met people that have big yarmulkes on and it's pays, and they don't even do the Torah commandments. They don't do anything. They just do it because they're part of the group, or because they want to make their wife happy, or their father happy, or their children happy.
One thing is that's the kippah. The reason why I think of this, when I see people with these really tiny kippahs, I wonder how they stay on their head. And one of the reasons why I wear a big kippah, it stays on my head.
That's a good idea.
Simple.
But there's a simple operation you can make. They put this bolt,
Oh, really?
and you can screw
They
it.
glue it or something?
No, they have a clip or something, a hair clip or a paper.
Hair. It still stays
Hair,
on
but
there.
I don't know. You'll have to ask these people. This is a major mystery you just realized. I don't know. You could write a book about it. Kabbalah. Okay, well, how did we get to this? When a person is in the world, he has to have what's called a split hoof, which means one thing means that he has to let godliness shine into the world. Whatever he does, he has to think and realize that this is God's doing. God created whatever I'm doing. God is the one who gives me success. God is give whatever he wants to give me, that's what he'll give me. And number two is you have to have a right and a left side. The right side is positive, and the left side is negative. Negative means there's certain things you have to push away. You have to make limits. You have to have a framework. That's the negative. This is good, this is not good. This is Judaism, this is not good Judaism. You can't be too much good. Good. That's what somebody just told me just now. Oh, you told me. Was it? That this lady, the state of Israel recognizes this lady as being a convert because her minister converted her, right?
Well, no. She considered herself Jewish.
Oh, she considered, okay, right. But the fact is the government of Israel try as much as possible to be as lenient as possible so that they'll have more citizens, right? And citizens. So therefore, if your father is Jewish, you're considered to be Jewish. Reform rabbi converts, you're considered to be Jewish. So what the result of this is that people, in fact, are not really Jewish. But you want to be a nice guy. They don't push anybody away. Etzema inyan, the whole idea, sheyesh lekarev et kol Yehudim leTorah, unachon. This idea that you have to bring every Jew close to the Torah is correct. Kafisha meduber, like we said many, many times. Biyachash the Persian Mishnah, oives abrios mekarvim leTorah. And you have to love even the creations and bring them close to Torah. Shafilu et asher et elu she'enim elu brios. Like it says, even those people that are only just creations of God, the only good thing you can say about them is that God created them. She'en lem kol chashivus milavad ha'uvda she'en brios ha'shakodesh baruch hu. The only good thing you can say about them, they're selfish people, they're dishonest people. The only good thing you can say about them is that God created them. Even this person, you have to make him come close to Torah. Yes, it's true. But Hataina shalasham shem kach yesh la'asot tikunim. But the whole idea that you can, in order to make a Jew come close to the Torah, that you can water the Torah down. La'amito shel davar kilkulim b'Torah. This is wrecking. Not only are you not bringing the people to Torah, you're bringing them to whatever your own ideas. Not only that, you're wrecking the Torah. You're bringing the Torah, you're cheapening the Torah in front of everybody's eyes. The Torah is just something you can change in a minute, like changing the Constitution. And even the Constitution, that's what... This is the opposite of the Torah, like the Mishnah says. Umekarvan the Torah, you have to draw people to the Torah, not draw the Torah to them. Yesh lekarev otam LaTorah, but not to draw the Torah down to these people and to change the Torah according to them. I mean, listen, of course you can tell a person says, listen, I can't put on tefillin once every day. I can't do it. Can I do it once a week, once a month? And you say, of course, do it once a month, but you have to know that the commandment is to put it on every day. Do as much as you can. But you have to be clear that doing as much as you can is wonderful, and God appreciates it. And if you really can't do any more than once a month, then that's what you do. That's what you do. But the fact is you can do more. Don't fool yourself. And for sure, don't try to fool God. God wants you to the commandment is to put on every day, not to put on whenever you can. That's not the commandment. Right? The commandment is that you should keep Shabbat. Person says, I can't keep Shabbat. I have to drive. I have to go over this. Right? You can't say it's okay to drive. You can't say that it's okay to drive. You can say to a person that listen, you really feel you have to drive. You do whatever you can, but you should know that according to the Torah, you're not supposed to drive. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing, not a proper thing. Okay, there's many questions involved in this, many details, etc., etc. The Rebbe once said that those people who use a microphone on Shabbos in shul, there's big synagogues, they have microphones. The rabbi speaks to the congregation. The congregation has gotten so big that they have to have a microphone. There used to be a big place, and I remember near Detroit, Shari Tzedek, they had 1,000 people, whatever it is. The rabbi couldn't stand up, so he used to speak on a microphone, right? So the Rebbe said there's 3 reasons that that a rabbi will say that a microphone is permissible. 3 reasons to say it's permissible. One reason is he doesn't know what a microphone is. Another reason is he doesn't know what Shabbos is. And the third reason is he doesn't know what either one of them are. The Rebbe said, but I learned electronics, and I know what a microphone is, and I learned the Shulchan Aruch, I know what Shabbos is. And I'm telling you that it's wrong. You can't use a microphone on Shabbos. But if you don't use a microphone on Shabbos, 900 people won't hear your drush. So they won't hear. You make true drushes, make 5 drushes. Make 10 drushes. What are you going to do? Change the acoustics of the synagogue. Stand in the middle. Make a trick. Find something else. Don't make a speech at all. Make a brunch and the speech, have somebody else read off. Say it and someone else can read it. You'll figure something out. Right? But you can't speak on a microphone on Shabbos. Okay.
No guitars on Shabbos?
No guitars. They used to be near my father's house, where my father used to live in Detroit. They used to have the labor Zionist, something like that. And they used to make a Yom Kippur. They had a violinist. Because the violin draws the heart, So
electric violinist.
No. Come on, these weren't. These were. I pushed the wrong button here. Af elu ilu hayut sodekas, even if it's true that by means of this you draw another Jew close to the Torah, you should know ki al pi din, according to the Torah, it's forbidden to change even one letter of the Torah. A person could say, listen, what do you mean? I'm drawing thousands of people to the Torah. They wouldn't, they would all get married to non-Jews if I didn't speak to a microphone on Shabbos. He says, okay, listen, but you have to let God do something. You can't do it all on your own. You do what you can. Whether in the rights of the Rabbanan, you're not allowed to change the laws of the Torah, not even rabbinical laws. Afilu takana shatik niknu rabbanatenu, but you have to know the Torah. It could be that there's a lot of things that are permissible. Maybe you can speak through a megaphone. Speak through there's no. You'll figure out how to do it. Ela b'mikra shel navi emes. Only there's one time you can change the Torah, and that is a true prophet who tells the people to stop doing a commandment temporarily. Horat Shah. Then there's halacha b'Torah. It says in the Torah makes such a provision. She could call them mitzvahs, then it's like all the other mitzvahs that you have to listen to this prophet, like Eliyahu Navi that made sacrifices outside of the temple on Har Carmel, which is a forbidden thing to do, but he said that you could do it. So therefore they did it, but it was only a one-time thing. But if it was not a prophet, it is forbidden to change even a little bit of the Torah despite any benefits which you might accrue thereby. How much more so not only that you're not fixing anything up, but even more, you're making people coming close to the Torah, not according to the Torah. Those people themselves will drag other people until finally, not only did you make things improved, but you made things even worse. Commercially, you do it like it's known the story of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. If a person is found wandering around in the jungle and there are wild, dangerous animals, it's not that a person all of a sudden goes out from his house and goes into the jungle. How did he get there? First of all, he walked in Derech HaMelech on a big road. And then after that, he changed a little bit. And then after that, he got on the wrong train. And then after that, he got off at the wrong stop. And little by little, until all of a sudden he found himself wandering around in the middle of a jungle with all sorts of weird animals and snakes. So a person, how does a person start afterward? Huh? How does a person learn to leave the Torah, leave the mitzvahs? Little by little. It says that little by little could be you. You're the one that could be encouraging people to leave the Torah little by little. You gave them an example that it's permissible for certain ends to change the Torah a little bit. And they'll change it a little bit more, and their children a little bit more, until finally you end up with Christianity. God forbid.
Off the derech.
Yes. The opposite of the derech.
That's off the derech.
Yes. Okay, that's the idea of that you have to have a split hoof. That's not enough. You also have to chew the cud, and that's what we'll talk about, God willing, tomorrow.